Time to dive into the history of one of the original gaming giants. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 LucasArts games.
Relax, Mr. Threepwood. I know why you're here.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. Back in the prime of their days, LucasArts knew a thing or two about developing creative, fun, and brain-tickling video games. No matter the genre, they gave it their all. So for this list, we're paying tribute to some of the best they've had to offer. So, sit back with a tall mug of grog and enjoy.
But it is that simple, my boy, and I can.
Number 10, Maniac Mansion. Warning, this game is not safe for hamsters. In this horror B-movie spoof, Dave Miller and his friends must sneak through the mansion of Dr. Fred Edison and rescue Dave's girlfriend. Only 2 characters can accompany Dave at a time, each one having their own unique set of skills for solving puzzles throughout the mansion. Along with its bizarre humor and spooky environment, Maniac Mansion has open-ended gameplay with multiple ambiguous endings, some better than others, effectively setting the bar for LucasArts' self-published adventure game genre. Fans can relive the entire game by accessing a computer in the sequel, Day of the Tentacle. Number 9, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Are regular monster fighting games getting a little too intense? Then why don't you and a friend try something lighter with this love letter to B-movie monster flicks? A mad scientist has unleashed an army of monsters, because why not, and teens Zeke and Julie must search throughout the suburban areas and rescue helpless citizens, while fighting off the beasts with unconventional weaponry. It's a simple premise, but incredibly fun as you patrol each level, and hidden bonus levels, encountering any monster imaginable. Zombies, werewolves, vampires, and even the purple tentacle from Day of the Tentacle. Though tragically overlooked, Zombies Ate My Neighbors is still praised for its colorful graphics, entertaining story, and 2-player gaming, making Zeke and Julie's return in Ghoul Patrol all the more welcome. Number 8, Full Throttle.
I do or what?
Tim Schafer has worked on some of the best games for both LucasArts and Double Fine Productions, and this badass biker story is definitely no exception. In a dystopian future, the fast-paced motorcycle life is at risk, and Ben, leader of the Polecats, is framed for murder. Now he must clear his name and save bikes everywhere from being replaced by minivans. Like most of Schafer's work, Full Throttle was critically praised for its cinematic feel, complete with an action-packed soundtrack, an outstanding voice cast, including Mark Hamill and the late Roy Conrad, and graphics that seamlessly blended 3D with pixelation. While sequels are sadly out of the question, nothing rules out a remastered re-release.
Your gang's gone, and if you don't get on your bike and find them quick, everything you count on to survive could just disappear.
Number 7, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Bombs? See, gods don't need bombs.
Star Wars wasn't the only George Lucas product that the company liked to represent. Near the beginning of World War II, our favorite adventurous archaeologist, with support from an old coworker, is in a race against the Nazis, of course, to find the sunken city of Atlantis. In addition to its stunning art, and a story almost on the film's level, Fate of Atlantis also features 3 different gameplay paths that help mold the rest of the narrative. The Wits path challenges Indy's capability to solve even the hardest puzzles. The Team path shape his willingness to work with others, and the Fists path is pretty self-explanatory, right? Any Indy fan will be jonesing over this classic adventure. Number 6, Sam and Max Hit the Road.
Shall I confront, subdue, and pummel the suspected perpetrator, Sam? Sick him up, little buddy.
Though making their start in the comics, Steve Purcell's Sam and Max true rise to fame began in 1993 with Sam and Max Hit the Road. In this hilarious road trip, the freelance police travel across the country, Sam doing most of the work of course, in search of missing carnival attractions, while going toe-to-toe with an Elvis wannabe.
Oh, it's tough to be a country western star.
An odd concept, but players praised the game for its humor and cartoonish graphics that perfectly simulate the comics, entertaining minigames, and puzzles that range from simple to very challenging. Unfortunately, any sequels planned were cancelled due to financial issues and a lack of market interest. However, the freelance police would ride again in Telltale Games' episodic game saga.
Eerie, I just went cheese shopping. How did they know?
Be sure it's Swiss cheese, right? And be quick about it.
Number 5, Star Wars X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter. When they weren't tackling adventure games, LucasArts was pumping out Star Wars games of many shapes and sizes. X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter is considered by many to be the third in a series of simulation games where the player can step into the cockpit of Rebel X-Wings or Imperial TIE Fighters and blast your enemies out of the sky, or space, whatever. The only difference from the first two, aside from the supposedly improved graphics, is that XVT now features multiplayer features, where you and 8 buddies can gear up for co-op, free-for-all, or team-based gaming. A joystick is definitely required, but it's well worth it, especially if you play the Balance of Power expansion pack. That was awesome. Number 4, Day of the Tentacle.
What could it all mean?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Bernard from the original Maniac Mansion thought he had seen the last of Dr. Fred and the Edison Mansion, but 5 years later, he and 2 friends, Hoagie and Laverne, must go back and stop an evil purple tentacle from taking over the world. Not bizarre enough, how about if our 3 protagonists end up stuck in different time periods, and eventually come together, literally.
Can you remember stuff that hasn't happened yet?
While the original Maniac Mansion is a classic, this cartoony pseudo-sequel offers less frustrating gameplay, starting from point A and ending at point B, with no dead-end situations or character deaths, allowing us to fully enjoy this sci-fi comedy marvel and its re-releases.
Sure, George, if you say so.
Number 3, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Following the original Dark Forces first-person shooter, former Imperial officer Kyle Katarn must find the Valley of the Jedi and confront those who killed his father. While the graphics aren't perfect, actually they're super blocky, players got to finally experience what all Star Wars fans had dreamt of, wielding a lightsaber and the Force. Dark Forces 2, being an FPS, really adds the sense that you are the Jedi. And of course, with that title comes the ultimate decision. The force powers you choose to wield and who you harm could determine if the game ends in the light or the dark side. The Star Wars enthusiasts will flip for this game, and LucasArts patrons can appreciate the little surprises along the way. Number 2, Grim Fandango.
Where do they get these guys? They don't qualify for anything good, so I can't sell anything good. Can't work off my time, and I'm stuck.
With the adventure gaming genre slowly declining throughout the 1990s, Grim Fandango was its 3D rendered swan song. The game follows traveling agent / Grim Reaper, Manny Calavera, as he tries to help a client he borrowed reach her final destination, and along the way he deals with corrupt businesses in high places and a 4-year journey across the land of the dead.
Just a little farther, Claudius!
This is unquestionably one of Tim Schafer's best projects, launching players into a neo-noir storyline and showing the afterlife in a very new and entertaining light, made even better with his Kalaka-inspired art style. The remastered re-release of the game only makes it better with improved lighting and texturing, adding an even more cinematic feel.
Don't let me bother you.
Always nice to have visitors.
Number 1, The Secret of Monkey Island. Taking the top spot is the start of the hilarious high seas adventures that brought us into the age of pirates. The Secret of Monkey Island follows the misadventures of Guybrush Threepwood, an oddly named lad with dreams of being a mighty pirate. To accomplish that dream, he must journey across the Caribbean, defeat the fearsome ghost pirate LeChuck, and master the sport of kings, insult sword fighting.
I am rubber, you are glue.
Ron Gilbert's pirate adventure has it all. Puzzles that exercise the brain, an enjoyable soundtrack, and witty, silly humor to spare. All of these factors, plus some top-notch voice acting added later on, kept the franchise alive for 4 more games and 2 special edition re-releases. Not bad, Threepwood.
Well then, Thriftweed.
Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.